How you doing, guys? Mike here from the Music Workshop. I'm doing a little video today, a little quickie review of iDrumTech. iDrumTech is an app that you can get on the iOS, any iOS device. I have it on my iPhone right here. I believe that they were developing the iDrumTech for any Android device. I'm not sure how that's going. I don't have an Android device. So really this review is all for iPhone or iOS devices. Now, the iDrumTech at its core is a tuner. It allows you to tune your drums, but quickly and accurately, as far as I can see. It uses the same technology that other devices that are currently available use, which is when you hit your tom, it takes a resonance reading and it gives you that reading on the screen. However, the iDrumTech also it has a tone generator built into it, so it gives you the tone that tom should be playing at, and you can also hear your own tom using the microphone that's built into your phone. So I've already loosened the head on my floor tom here. All of my lugs are completely loose, and there is absolutely zero resonance on that drum right now. It is dead. Okay. Now, my problems in the past have been that I've always tuned very, very low. So if I was to tune this using no tuner, what I would do is I would tighten all my lugs to finger tight. And basically I want to get up as far as resonance. Now, resonance simply means that there's a sound coming from the drum, that it resonates somewhat. Okay? So I'll just tip out my floor tom here to get the back lugs. It's a lot more snug there now. It's pulled down onto the bearing edge, and if I strike that right now, I should get a tone, and I do, yeah. And it's very low, almost wet sounding. Now that is quite honestly what I like to play to. Maybe a little bit tighter than that, but when my drums were that low, I had huge problems with my heads. I couldn't get enough bounce back off of my drums for to be able to roll on my floor tom. And that wasn't a difficulty with my style of play. It was that the floor tom was just soaking up all the stick had to give and just giving nothing back. Also, if you're a heavy hitter, I'm not, but if you're a heavy hitter, you can leave pock marks in your heads by hitting too hard when they're too loose. And it was only until I downloaded the iDrumTech and gave it a try that I realized all of these problems were there, and it just fixed them for me. My drumming almost seemed better because my toms were in tune and because they were giving me the bounce back I deserved. So right now, if I turn on the iDrumTech, all I need to do is hold my phone or whatever device you have it on close to the skin and give it a hit in the middle to get the sound of the drum, the overall sound rather than individual lug sound. Okay, so that gives me a reading of -20, so I'm way down. Okay, so I want to tune that up, but I don't want to do it very, very fast. I want to be very slow and calculated about it, because if I tighten too much, I'm like, oh, it's -20. I'll give it 2 turns on each lug. What you're doing is you're giving the drum no chance to stay even all the way around. So you want to do it small bits at a time. You also want to tune parallel, and that basically means if I start on this lug, I move to this lug, then come back here, I move to this lug, then I come back here, I move to this lug, and then finally over here, and then back to this lug. Okay? So that means that I'm not pulling down on one particular side of the drum, allowing the bearing edge to unsaddle the head so that there's more tightness on this side than on that side. Okay? So what I like to do is I leave my left hand at my starting point. Okay? I'm going to give it a 1/4 of a turn, so that's moving from 12 to 3. Move over to the opposite side, 12 to 3. Now, as you're tightening through, when you get about halfway through your lugs, you'll start to notice that the lugs feel looser than the initial lugs that you tightened. Don't be tempted to turn it more than a 1/4 of a turn each. The reason that the later lugs are looser is because the head has been pulled down on already and there's no resistance on them. If you turn them more, that means you're giving an uneven tension around the head. So you have to be really disciplined. If you've only turned it a 1/4 of a turn on your first lug, it's the same on the last one. That way you make sure you have even tension around the head. Okay? So let's have a listen to where we're at. Put down my second stick. Okay, so I'm at -13 now. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn on my tone generator. Now, On the iDrumTech, you have a selection of different kits that you can use. I'm using the DW kit, but if I just hold down there, I have a D drum, I have a crush, hand percussion, Pearl sessions, and snare drums. There's a huge selection of different kits there. Also, let's just say I didn't want to tune the floor tom, I wanted to tune a 10-inch tom. All I have to do is grab the tom selection here and drag it all the way up to 10-inch tom, or all the way back down to 14-inch floor tom. Perfect. It's very, very straightforward, very user-friendly. Okay, so I click my tone generator. I can hear it in my headphones. Unfortunately, you can't. And the tone generator is now giving me what my floor tom should sound like. If I click on my headphones, it's going to turn on the microphone on my phone, so I can now hear the drum and the tone at the same time. Yeah, so I'm as I can hear, I'm way lower than the tone on that. So I'm just going to turn off my tone generator, turn off my headphones, and I'm going to give it another quarter turn each. Okay. So again, sticks down, left hand at my starting point. That's just to make sure I don't tighten this twice by accident. Okay, and let's just have a little test. Okay, it all sounds even. Let's turn on our tone. Okay, so I'm getting a reading now of 2.1. That's a C sharp, and that's around where I want to be. I'm literally sharp by 2.1, which is a margin I'm happy with. But what's more important is I can hear the tone generator giving me the tone of my floor tom, and I can also hear the tone of my actual floor tom. Okay, so I can tune to ear. I can not look at those figures at all. I can just listen. And I'm very, very happy with how close I am there. And that is the reason why I think the iDrumTech is almost the next step in using technology to be able to tune your drums. Drums have kind of been left behind when it comes to tuning. For a very long time there's been electric tuners that you could tune your guitars to or other instruments, but drums were kind of just like, oh, they're just percussion instruments, it's fine, we'll just tune the ear. This is a very, very quick, user-friendly way of tuning your drums accurately. And I have to give it to iDrumTech. They've come up with a great product, and their competition is standalone devices that don't do this much. They just give you the figures. They don't give you the tone generator or the ability to hear your drum. The iDrumTech is priced so competitively compared to them. We're talking €100 for the standalone devices versus €5 or thereabouts for the iDrumTech. It's 200% cheaper than their competition, and they do a better job. So you can't fault them. If you want to have your drums in tune and you want to do it quickly and accurately, it gets my vote every day. So that's my my quickie review of the iDrumTech. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions about iDrumTech, please direct them towards iDrumTech themselves. I'm not affiliated at all. This is just a device I like to use, and I like to tell you guys about it. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you again soon.